Is that you?
That's me.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's me with my big booty.
That's pretty good.
That's me and my big booty.
I like the butt shot. That's nice.
Yeah, it's not a bad butt.
Well, I could see why you get a lot of people coming on your site.
Not a bad booty.
Drea de Matteo is proud of her body. She's used to people looking at it, but not quite like this.
That's something I could easily see on Instagram or something like it, right?
But I would never do that on Instagram.
Oh,
I don't walk around in a bikini in front of people. So the fact that I'm even doing this is like, it's just a new version of me that I'm kind of proud of, and I don't feel like I need to apologize to anybody.
You joked that it was, who would be interested in granny porn? But you are the furthest thing from a granny I can think of.
I mean, I could be a grandmother.
No worries, Drea's not really doing porn. The 52-year-old actress who has specialized in sex bomb characters on screen, most famously in The Sopranos, is now creating a new sort of persona these days, online.
Didn't even know I made all these tips, guys. And $50,000 in tips right here.
And it's paying off, thanks to OnlyFans. In fact, she says it saved her from financial ruin. She's joined a growing list of high-profile actors and others taking their talents to the exclusive subscription-based platform and cashing in without doing explicit content. Drea knows her appeal on OnlyFans to many comes from her role as Adriana La Cerva, the doomed but much-loved character from 6 seasons of HBO's iconic series, The Sopranos.
Adriana La Cerva.
This is my friend I was telling you about, Adriana La Cerva.
No one followed me.
Adriana, you wouldn't know it if they did.
Hey, Adriana.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Why'd you go haunt a house or something?
I think the reason why I made money is because I'm Adriana. Like I said, it's Adriana La Cerva's fan page. It's not even my page.
I was telling you that I walked around my house for months going, Christopher! Everybody loved the way you said it.
Please, Christopher.
I didn't like doing it. I felt like I sounded like a caricature, and I wanted to be true to the character and not be just some, you know, accented Italian character. So I asked David Chase to rewrite that. Let me just say Chrissy. And I say Chrissy a lot. He let me.
I'm humming the scenery, Chrissy. 5th row center and dinner at Le Cirque? Yeah!
But he said, no, you must say Christopher. So I became famous for Christopher. It's like Matt LeBlanc's How You Doing?
Christopher.
Adriana was also referred to by critics as the heart of the show, the conscience of the show.
I know. See? She's getting me to cry.
I didn't mean to.
Because I'm the crier. I am the town crier. I loved her. I understood her. I think the way she was written, though, and the way David created that show, she was the sacrificial lamb.
That role on one of TV's most celebrated shows propelled her to the upper levels of Hollywood,
Drea de Matteo.
netting her an Emmy.
There are so many people that are responsible for this, but if I even try to thank any of them right now, I might puke, choke, cry, or die.
She would go on to star on other hit shows, as Joey Tribbiani's sister on the Friends spin-off.
Just pick one.
Fine. Gina, you are the bigger pain in the ass.
Told ya.
As Wendy Case on Sons of Anarchy.
Looks like the boy might actually see his first birthday.
He made it. Oh, April, thank God.
And Angie Bolan on Desperate Housewives.
Somebody get me a coffee later.
Holy crap. Is that Heidi Klum? Yeah.
I do think people assume you're on a hit show. You starred in a hit show. People assume you're rolling in the money. You were a working actress in Hollywood.
Yep. It's pretty amazing that we're actually not rich. I just took what I could get at that time. But, I mean, for Sons, I basically barely got paid to be on that show because I was never supposed to be a series regular. Sopranos, I was never a series regular either until later on.
But the money was good enough to pay the bills and buy this beautiful home in the Hollywood Hills. Everything seemed fine until the pandemic hit, and suddenly the divorced mom of 2 was on the verge of losing everything.
What does this house mean to you?
Security, family. I will start to cry, so I'm going to just take a minute to to lose your sense of safety, and it came right out of the pandemic where we really didn't know what was happening and what was up and what was down, and there were just so many things happening.
At the beginning of the pandemic, Hollywood, like everything else, shut down. Filming slowly picked back up, and work resumed, but not for Drea.
I just didn't follow a few very important rules that were necessary for people to follow.
Like what?
Like a mandate.
The mandates she's talking about, COVID safety protocols instituted across the filmmaking industry in nearly all projects headed by major studios, which meant no vaccine, no work. Drea had chosen not to get the vaccine.
You didn't get on a soapbox and talk about why you weren't doing it, but you decided not to take the COVID vaccine.
Well, for me, it was just, I don't even take Tylenol. Like, I have a headache right now, and I'm probably not gonna take any Tylenol. Like, I'm gonna try to figure out other ways to get rid of it. I don't like to put anything in my body, so I also just didn't know enough. I didn't know enough, my children didn't know enough. My kids are fully vaccinated.
So it wasn't like a big ideological thing for you?
No, it was not at all until it became that in the media.
Like so many others who were out of work and out of money, Drea was soon on the verge of foreclosure on this home that had been her safe haven and safety net for years.
You were apparently down to very little in your bank account.
I don't like to play the victim in this stuff because I had this house, and I knew I could sell this house and I could downsize my life and be okay and go get a job anywhere, supermarket, I don't care. But at that time, during the mandates, I couldn't even go work at a bookstore. I needed a vaccine card, I needed a barcode to survive.
She didn't end up in a bookshop. Instead, another opportunity presented itself, suggested by one of her teenage daughter's friends.
So then you're handed an unlikely lifeline, OnlyFans.
Yeah, I mean, that was a fluke. A really lucky fluke. And if I had it to do all over again, I would have done it sooner. I don't care what any of these haters want to say.
What made you flip the switch?
I put a picture up, a selfie. Holy cow. I was about to say the other word. Holy cow. I was like, okay, so we just paid the real estate company back within a day. Immediately, I was like, oh my God, we're gonna be okay.
Within minutes, just minutes, Drea knew she wouldn't have to sell her house after all. In fact, she may not have to act anytime soon.
How much do you make on OnlyFans versus, say, an episode on Sopranos?
Oh, I never was a top tier player on Sopranos. Way more on OnlyFans. It depends on the month. I've only been doing it for a couple of months, you know?
Can you give us a ballpark of how much you're able to rake in?
I mean, it's probably not a good idea, you know? People can speculate. It's not really as much as everybody thinks. I'm still not rich by any means, considering what rich looks like today. But we're okay and we're gonna survive, but I do have to figure out other ways to maintain my home. I know it is a career for some women. That was a Band-Aid. OnlyFans was a Band-Aid for me.
One special outfit Drea has yet to model on OnlyFans is one of her character Adriana's most memorable looks.
This catsuit is, I mean, talk about mob wife.
I mean, it's really funny that the whole mob wife aesthetic was happening at the same time that I was launching my brand.
Her own brand? Less mob wife, more streetwear. It's a clothing line called Ultra Free.
I would imagine that sales have gone up since OnlyFans launched.
I mean, OnlyFans was first. Yeah. OnlyFans was first, and we did OnlyFans to launch this.
I see.
Yeah, so that money pays for the startup of this.
Dreams change. For Drea, that's meant shifting to a more business-oriented future, centered at home with her children.
You were also quoted as saying that your daughter had told you that she's proud of you.
That's gonna make me cry. Yeah. Hold on. Jesus Christ, that's not supposed to happen. I'm the tough guy. A lot of people have said to me, what do you think about the haters? And I go, I don't care. My kids are proud of me. That's all that matters.
For more on Drea's and others' journeys on OnlyFans, you can watch the latest episode of Impact by Nightline. OnlyFans, not just sex, now streaming on Hulu.